everybody. Welcome back to On Command Podcast. I'm Sarah. This is my son, Wesley. I know we were hoping to talk about the schedule this episode, but it looks like they delayed it a week. It was originally supposed to be the 9th. Now it looks like they moved it to the 15th. So hopefully next week we can talk about some of the schedule and matchups that are coming up. But Wes came up with some good ideas about what we could cover this time. We're going to talk about the most improved teams, the least improved teams, standout players, and surprise teams from last year, both good and bad. So, we'll get started. We're going to talk about the most improved team first. Do you want to go ahead first?
Sure. I think the most improved team is the Texans. Because they had Will Anderson Jr. last year, still C.J. Stroud. Free agency, they got Joe Mixon, and they got
Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs, yes. And I think they're already a great team, and they'll be really good this year. Okay, what do you think?
I think the Chicago Bears. I think the Chicago Bears did really well this offseason. Obviously, with the addition of Caleb Williams, they also brought in DeAndre Swift from the Eagles. Rome Odunze, they also drafted him. And they also brought in Keenan Allen. So, a lot of weapons for Caleb Williams this time. The other thing I liked about that was, they also had the number one rushing defense this past year. And they had the second least amount of rushing touchdowns allowed. So they allowed 8 the whole season, which is pretty good. So I think they're the most improved for me. But I do see what you mean with the Texans because they got a lot going on, a lot of good things. Who do you have for the least improved team?
I think it's definitely the Raiders or the Panthers. I think it's the Raiders, though, because they didn't draft well, and they didn't get anyone really good in free agency.
Yeah, they missed out on some quarterbacks in the draft. I think they were hoping to get.
But yeah,
I'm surprised they didn't. I mean, they did sign Gardner Minshew, which he's pretty
good.
Yeah,
but
I don't know if he's
anything like that good.
Yeah, I don't know if he's an everyday starter. Although I know last year when he stepped in for Anthony Richardson with the Colts, they had a lot of success with him.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't really think so exactly.
Yeah. Well, I picked the Carolina Panthers. They really lost a lot of talent this year in free agency. I guess they got Xavier Legette. They signed him. He drafted him. I'm sorry. It's number 32, I think. Pick 32. But again, their division with the Falcons, the Saints, and the Buccaneers, I think they have a lot of work to do. Yeah, especially with the Falcons, and I know the Bucs did really well last year. We'll see how they do this year.
And the Commanders, took Jeremy Chin from their team and Frankie Louvu.
Yes.
They're both on the Panthers.
Yes.
For free agency. And, they just lost a lot of good players. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah. Who do you have for a standout player from last year?
I think Jordan Love. Will Levis was pretty good, too. But I think Jordan Love and C.J. Stroud was good. But I think Jordan Love was the best standout because he was just brand new and, nobody really expected much from
Nobody
him.
did.
And they made it to the playoffs in the second round.
Yeah.
They did really good. And they didn't lose much talent either on the Green Bay Packers.
I think there was a lot of unknowns with Aaron Rodgers being there for so long. Weren't sure exactly if Love was ready to go, if he was their guy or not. But I think he proved himself. Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, that's right. I have C.J. Stroud. Again, I mean, he's 2023 Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Turned the team around.
Yes.
I mean, last place to first place. Really good. Really good.
Not first. Yeah.
Well, they were last place in 2022. They were 3-13-1 in 2022. Last year, they were first place in their division at 10-7, I think.
Yes.
So, and again, I mean, he did all that, got Rookie of the Year.
And Will Anderson Jr. on their team got Rookie of the Year for the Texans.
Defensive, yeah.
Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, that's who I have. So
Yes.
your surprise team, good. The good surprise team. This is from last year. Who surprised you last year?
I think the team that surprised me was the Texans. Yeah. The Texans surprised me for just how good C.J. Stroud did and how they turned around their franchise.
And who do you... Well, I'll agree with you. Actually, that's who I have as well. I picked the Texans too. Yeah. I mean, being able... They beat the Jags with Trevor Lawrence and I don't even know how you say that last name. Etney?
Yeah.
The Colts and the Titans all in their division. I mean, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Do you have a surprise team that did not do well last year? Or thought you would do better? Oh, that's fair. I like that.
I thought the Jets would be really good with Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner. You could go on forever.
Yeah, they loaded them
Wilson,
up.
Everyone, they have so many good players, but
just couldn't get
Aaron Rodgers
They
got
just
him
couldn't
so
get the
fast.
quarterback. Yeah, fourth play or something?
Yeah.
They
Against
just-
the Bills.
Was it? I don't remember. I remember we watched that game. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah,
But-
so.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I think I would pick the Giants.
Giants.
I thought the Giants because, in 2022, the Giants were a playoff team.
Oh, yeah.
And then last year, now I know they also lost Daniel Jones, their quarterback, pretty early in the season. And, then they had, I believe, Tyrod Taylor and, is it DeVito,
yeah,
the backup?
Johnny DeVito.
I don't remember. I know his last name.
It's DeVito.
Yeah. But, obviously with, performing so well in 2022 with Jones and Saquon Barkley had a heck of a year that year.
Yeah.
Really nothing came out of that last year once Jones went down. So I am interested to see with the addition of Neighbors and see if Jones can have himself a good year. Hopefully not too good with the Commanders, but,
Yeah.
and being in the same
I
division.
think
But,
it'll be good.
but yeah.
Here's a question that we weren't going to talk about, but who do you think is going to be the 2024 Offensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Offensive Rookie of the Year. All I would like to say, and I hope I'm right, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
I think it's possible that Caleb Williams could get it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the wide receivers and offense that I've mentioned before.
Yeah.
I think it's possible. Neighbors could, but
Yeah.
it all depends on who the Giants have at quarterback. What about you?
I think it's going to be Jaden Daniels. I just think he's just going to... I think he could lead in the passing yards for rookie, and I think he'll be good. Yeah, I think Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Caleb Williams, maybe a wide receiver. Probably only Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors.
It's true. I didn't think about Marvin Harrison Jr. out
And
there,
then
but
defense?
I'll let you go first on that one.
I think it's maybe Taron Arnold. It could be Johnny Newton, second round pick. He's really good, but I do think it could be Taron Arnold, Dallas Turner, Luta, like those players.
Who do I think? I would go with... I'll pick Dallas Turner, but I really don't know who...
Yeah.
I'm anxious to start watching some games and seeing how all of these teams unfold.
Yeah.
But yeah. Any other questions you want to ask?
Well, that's it.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's it for us this week. Next week, fingers crossed, we'll be able to cover the first 4 games of the schedule this year. Yeah, so our goal is to cover moving forward each 4 games each week. With one of the weeks, we'll have to pick 5.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye. Subscribe.